So we had a crazy weekend and week in the stock markets. Global stock markets got absolutely decimated. $6.4 trillion got wiped out. Japan went down 12% in one day, which is the worst that's performed since 1987. A lot of people get nervous in the markets. People are seeking safety at this point. Warren Buffett himself is actually sitting on $277 billion for Berkshire Hathaway, which is the most amount of cash they've ever sat on. And just last week, they actually sold half of their Apple position. So the big money is preparing for something, I'm not sure exactly what, but definitely a correction in the global stock markets. So I think a lot of people are expecting that. You also have reports that recently came out last week that is saying 186 banks in the US are on the verge of potential bankruptcy. So there's a lot of risk in the banking sector as well. Global markets, banking sector. And then you had Citibank come out last week and say that they expect the US Federal Reserve to reduce interest rates 8 times over the next 12 months or by the end of 2025, which, I mean, honestly, what that would do, it would really just decimate the dollar. It would really make the US dollar go down drastically and cause major inflation. And then you also had the Canadian banks come out and say the same thing. They're expecting the rate to come down from 4.5% down to 2 to 3%. So they're expecting another 150 basis points of rate reductions to come. So it's not just the US, it's not just Canada, this is a global crisis right now. You're starting to see all countries around the world reducing interest rates, and which is really bad for the currencies, really bad for inflation. So it's going to make it really difficult on the middle class going forward. And then lastly, you got World War III potentially escalating here. Israel's now waiting on an attack from Iran. The whole world is actually waiting for this, and that's why you saw the stock markets go down as much as they did over the weekend because of the attack from Israel on Lebanon. So you're going to continue to see war escalate, which again, more money printing, more inflation. So I think that's the trend you're going to see from now for until the end of next year. More money printing programs, lower interest rates, an attack on the dollar, and inflation going higher. So what that tells me is the safe places to be right now are precious metals, gold and silver, because historically they perform best during inflationary periods. I also believe cryptocurrencies will do well as the dollar continues to go down. People are going to be seeking alternative assets. People are already starting to move out of the stock markets. They want something more safe. Precious metals is where a lot of that money is heading right now. And I think cryptocurrencies will also be a place where people start to put their money as the banks potentially start to fail later this year or into next year. So yeah, we have a crazy 12 months ahead of us, and I'm looking forward to the show.